sharing since chapter 1.
Paul, doing this, is holding tension in several places. One, he is speaking to a split audience. On one side, he's got the Jews. On the other side, he's got the Gentiles. Both are listening to what he's saying. Jews on one side thinking that they own the monopoly on God because they are God's chosen or elected people. Then you have the Gentiles on the other side who are being used by God to make the Jews jealous to bring them back into an intimate and right relationship with God. The Gentiles believe that they are really included and they are superior to the Jews because they have now accepted what the Jews have rejected in Jesus. Paul is standing in the middle in this parting blessing, trying to sum all this up. Paul is reconciling this breach and establishing a community of spirit-divided believers standing on the foundation of love, and he is really admitting that human attempts to address this is futile at best. However, he says God is able to make people righteous when they are living in a way that they don't even deserve righteousness, and God chooses to make them righteous based on the righteousness of his Son. Trust me when I tell you, you did not get on God's radar because you were so pretty. You didn't get saved because you were all that and then some. You became righteous because God saw you dead in your sins, and Jesus revived you and allowed you to live again, not of the flesh, but of the faith. And after God saved you, God established you. And somebody here needs to understand this benediction because your life is so unstable right now. You have such instability in yourself, and God sent me back here to tell you, no matter how rocky your life is, no matter how shaky your life is, you are not going to fall. You are not going to be crushed. You will not be destroyed. God is establishing you. God has the power to make you stable. Established in the Greek comes from the word sterizo. Sterizo. It means to make you stable. To make you stable. When I was growing up, I used to watch my mother. She had all these house plants. And she loved plants. She loves plants. My mother planted some plants, and the roots weren't deep enough. Those of you who have a green thumb, you'll catch this early. They weren't deep enough so that the branch stem on top of the soil wouldn't fall over. Branch wouldn't break. So my mother would take a long stick and just stick it down in the soil next to the stem. Tie the stem to the stick. Now some of the branches never became untied, but they still grew and produced what they were intended to produce.